Welcome to Bandit's Keep Actual Play. I'm Daniel. We're continuing our solo original Dungeons & Dragons campaign using Chainmail, and we are dungeon delving. The Fangs they've been doing okay. If you've been following this series, this isn't the worst delve ever. They've had a tough fight with some ghouls and some mummies, but they need to get some treasure, and they're making one last attempt to get in there, get the treasure, and get out with as many party members as they possibly can. All right, I want to take a second to talk a little bit about the world so I can tell you how I'm trying to make my decisions here. They definitely don't want to go to the third level because that's going to be too dangerous for them. They know that. They owe their patron another like 4,000 gold pieces before they kind of have ownership of this map, or can move on to something different and come back and then go to the third level when they level up, right? Because the patron takes half of what they make and they've recovered about 5,000 gold pieces. If they leave now, leave the dungeon, that is, all the ways and go home, they're going to have to come back to this dungeon no matter if they want to or not. If they can get another like decently sized, valuable piece of jewelry, they can probably come back here whenever they feel like it to clear that third level and get all the treasure, which means they can move on to another map, maybe something smaller with some magic items. So it makes sense for them to keep going, even though they've lost, 3 party members so far? I think that they're still a decent-sized party enough that they can go for it. So what they're going to do is they're going to ignore this room going to the third level, and they're going to go the other direction. Now, this is kind of risky, you know, as a player, per se, because they could walk here. I could throw the next card, and it might be another end room. And if it is, there's going to be 6 mummies in there. And there's probably no way in hell they're going to take out 6 mummies. Which means that what they have to hope for is that they're going to encounter a few of these mummies on their own again first, and go through a few of these more minor combats without losing any more player characters. They do have, as a last-ditch effort, they have protection from evil spells. If they need to, and what they will do, is if they throw that spell up, then the mummies can't touch them, which means 3 characters or 2, depending on the situation, can block the mummies and give them the edge they need. That's what they're going to have to set up, and it's not going to be an easy thing to do logistically. So right now it's a bit of a risk, but we're going for it. So with that being said, that's the end of 3. This is going to be turn 4 we're going into. I'm going to roll to see if there'll be a wandering monster at the end of this. Well, I can't roll inside this thing for beans. There will be. There's going to be a wandering monster at the end of this move. So let's move. We can move 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're basically right by the rats, or the toads rather. So we're here, and we are encountering a wandering monster. Again, we have those giant torches. They lit that other one up for 1 combat. Let me make sure of that. So they have 1 more each. Obviously, they're picking up the ones off their fallen comrades. Now, that sounds kind of terrible, but you got to do what you got to do, right? They're not dragging the body of the halfling right now. I don't think they can. Actually, you know what? They can. They're going to, it was the halfling that fell, right? Yeah, they're going to strip the halfling of their armor, though, even though armor is obviously valuable. No, it wasn't halfling, it was dwarf. Actually, didn't they lost something? No, he was a cleric, human. They lost 2 characters down here. 1 to the toad, which they left because they were in the middle of combat. They're in the middle of drag 2 characters. You know what? They're going back. They're going to have to. They're going to take the characters out of their armor, so I'm going to waste a turn when we get here. Actually, they did it there, I suppose, because we had time for the halfling, and they're just carrying the halfling at this point with no armor. The armor's valuable, but they're not going to carry armor back. And a person weighs 750, so these guys that aren't carrying much can easily carry somebody, and they're in the back anyway, so it's not going to be a problem. They're just going to drop the body when the combat starts. Anyways, they are going to carry their comrades because that's how we do things around here. But let's see what they encounter on the way forward. I'm going to roll on my list. 5. Ooh, 5's ghouls. All right, there's 3 ghouls left, so I'll roll D3. Okay, 1 ghoul. That's good, though. Does the ghoul surprise the party? No. Does the party surprise the ghoul? No. Okay, so the distance to the ghoul is 2d4 times 10, so 4. Oh, it's actually 80 away. So they probably hear it, you know, because that's when it's the sighting distance, but they stop there at the end of their turn. They listen, and they hear, okay, you know, they hear a ghoul moving in this direction. So this seems like a time to set up an ambush. So all the archers get ready. And we're actually going to back up. The plan is going to be to try to get hopefully two rounds of missile fire against this ghoul before it can get to us. So it's going to move to here. It can move 9, so it's going to move as soon as it gets to here, which is, it was 8 away, right? So 9 would be here. They're going to be able to shoot it as soon as it comes into sight because they're effectively holding their action, if you want to use a more modern term. It defends as heavy horse. I have to look at the math again. Heavy crossbow versus heavy horse, 1 die per 2 man, 6 hits. So our dwarf with the heavy crossbow, 3 dice. Only 6s hit, but I just need 1 hit to kill a ghoul. Remember that. So, firing the heavy crossbow. Boom! Yes! That's what I like to see. Boom. Ghoul crosses the corner. Dwarf levels the heavy crossbow and blows right through its head. Oh, I hate ghouls. If you've been following this, ghouls are terrible. All right, that ghoul's dead. There's only 2 ghouls left in this place. I mean, I know that. Obviously, the characters don't. Okay, they kill the ghoul. It's a wandering monster. Doesn't have any treasure. But another turn goes by. And that was the... I should say that was turn 4, so now it's turn 5. And they're going to have to rest turn 6. So basically, reset their regular torches. And we're going to roll for wandering monster while they're waiting. All right, is there a wandering monster? I mean, they could have moved up a little bit. Oh, I'm going to put them here. Yes. Oh, God. Okay. They're getting ready to get back up, and they hear, well, maybe they hear. Let's see what it is. It's another ghoul. I guess I should have suspected that. Does the ghoul surprise the party? It does not. Does the party surprise the ghoul? It does. Okay. So, again, maybe the ghoul's come around this corner. I'm just going to do that because that makes the most sense. And we're going to do the exact same thing as before. That dwarf's going to let loose with this heavy crossbow. Let's hope for the same luck. Boom. Damn, you're good. This dwarf is becoming the MVP of the whole thing. Boom. Dwarf fighter, who somehow I forgot to put a name on you. We need to name this dwarf fighter. She's like the best person we have. Okay, boom. She kills another ghoul. All right, they kill the ghoul, but unfortunately that means that, well, that was turn 6, so we're starting over. So, again, combat always takes 1 full turn, even though it's not that. That's just the way the rules work. So, 1 turn's gone by, and I'm going to roll again to see if this is a wandering monster at the end of the next turn. And there is. Okay. But they get to move first. At least we get to move this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they're going to be here. So let's see what this thing is. Will it be the last ghoul? No. It's a 4, which makes it lizards, 2 hit die lizards. And there's up to a D4 of them. There's 1. Okay. 1 2 hit die lizard. This is probably not going to really be an issue unless it surprises us. So does the lizard surprise us? It does not. Do we surprise the lizard? We do. All right. Once again, a hail of... I'm going to let the elves shoot first because this dwarf's been using up a lot. Although she has 30 quarrels, she's actually used 6 so far, I believe. I don't count them as I'm going because they never use that many when they first go into a dungeon. I count them when I watch this pack. So I think she's used 6 so far. I'm sure she has plenty of quarrels. Yeah, she's going to do it. Of course, they defend as heavy foot. So same 2 dice, same 3 dice that she's going to get to roll, but 5 or 6 hits, and she's got +1 to 1 die. But remember, she has to get him twice because it has 2 hit dice because it's different than the ghoul. 1 hit plus the 1, 5. She kills. Actually, she's got that without the +1. So we kill the lizard. Seems mean to kill the lizard, but everything in the dungeon is dangerous. Where did it come from? I was curious. Did it come behind us? Roll again. No. Okay, so it came from over here. It must have been in those rocks. So again, that takes that whole... Unfortunately, it's killing our time because combat always takes up a whole turn. Okay, so we're moving again. And this is going to be turn 4, which means I got to roll to see if there's going to be an encounter. There's not. Okay. All right. Oh, man. I bumped my camera. Okay, not an encounter. I bumped the camera. So if you see a change, that's what happened there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You know what? They didn't go through these doors the last time. Oh, no, they did. They went in there and there was nothing there. And I mean, I know there's a secret door there, but they don't know that. So, okay, they stopped there. That's the end of turn 4. Going to turn 5. We're going to keep going because, again, we want to get over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They get here. Okay, we're going to turn 6. Let's see if there's an encounter at the end of this. There's not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They get here. Okay. They have to rest now for turns. Actually, they were supposed to rest for turn 6. I'm sorry. They can't move during turn 6. They have to rest and then... Okay, they might leave. They might actually leave just because I'm thinking mental-wise. You know what? They'll spend 2 more hours in here at max. Because I feel like they've been in here a lot of hours, and I'm sure their head's starting to spin. They may just go to the surface and come back down again. Also, they're carrying 2 dead bodies, and they have a 3rd dead body up top with those berserkers. Yeah, you know what? I think they're going to leave. They're just going to go down this corridor and see what's there. And then once they do that, they might just go to the top again and then come back down. Because I feel like at this point, they need to be careful. Again, they're dragging bodies. They can probably leave them, but God, that'd be terrible if their friends got taken, if they left the bodies and they got taken away by some animal. Yeah, okay. Again, they're moving 2 bodies. Let me just move past this next card and see. I don't know why I rolled. There was no reason to roll there. So ignore that. I will roll 1. Oh, I'll say that was for the... It's going to be 2 turns. That's why I did that probably. So again, that puts them here. And the second one... Yeah, that's like 7. Let's see what's there. Oh, okay. So this is a dead end. So what you're supposed to do when you get a dead end is, well, it can be a drop down to the next level, or it can be, you know, the final room. And I think I'm going to make it the final room at this point. I feel like this level's probably big enough. It's not going to be an easy fight, but, you know, again, that's how life is sometimes. So what we're going to do here is, so, I mean, now that I know that and it's meta, we're going to do it. So they're going to move 1 more turn. So there was no encounter at the end of that. So on turn 3, they're going to move to that door and 3 of them are going to listen. This is a very important check here. Because if we hear these mummies in here, then we can prepare. Because there's a lot in there. And basically, we will be able to win this fight fairly easily if we can do this. Because they won't be able to touch us. Which means we can just keep hammering them with the fire until they basically get burned. We don't hear anything. Okay, the group listens. They don't hear anything. And boom, they kick the door open. And they knock it open. Inside the room, a vast hoard of treasure. We're going to get another level here for sure, if we can get out of here alive. And 6 mummies. Now, here's the question. This is a big one. Do the mummies surprise us? Yes. Do we surprise the mummies? We do not. Okay, surprise places the mummies. 1d3, so 30 feet away, up to 30 feet. Oh my God, they're right by the door. Okay, well, we kick the door open and standing right in the doorway are mummies. This actually isn't the worst thing that could possibly happen, but it's not the best thing either. So I have to decide what we want to do here. Strategy would tell me that it makes sense. So if I was a player, and I am in this case, yeah, there's a lot of mummies. We're doing it. Okay, this is what we're going to do. First of all, they get a surprise round. So if you remember, the mummies, a mummy anyways, gets to roll 2 dice, adds 1, and that's a kill. Well, the door's wide enough that 2 mummies can attack, so they're going to get to do that twice. So here's the first one. Yep, mummy takes down one of the fighters. Actually, either the fighter or the cleric. Let's see which one. The cleric. Second mummy takes down the fighter. Okay, let me see if the fighter is saved by their saving throw. They're not. Okay. The door busts open. They're surprised by the mummies who immediately attack, killing the 2 characters in the front. The rest of the party is not engaged in the melee because they're standing back, right? And there's going to be an important decision right here. They're going to run. They need to cast a protection from evil spell on themselves and then come back. Because 3 of them, actually all of them have protection from evil. If they can just win initiative here, they will be able to break. If they can't win initiative, they won't be able to move this turn. They'll have to wait till next turn. Oh, come on, party. Oh my God. They lost initiative. All right. Okay. The mummies move into the corridor, interacting with the people in the front, which I guess are these guys. Actually, since I didn't... Yeah, that's how they were traveling before. This is very bad. Because these guys are Lightfoot. Okay. So the mummies... And again, the reason why the other people didn't attack last round was because they got surprised. The mummies are Heavyfoot attacking Lightfoot. They get 1 die per man, 5 or 6 hits. So the mummies are rolling 5 dice. I'm basically rolling a total of 10d6 here. And yeah, this is not good. They can only attack the people in the front row. So they are going to... and of course they don't have the torch. All right, they're going to... They can see because we're close enough to the torches. They're going to see if they can withstand this, basically. This is simultaneous, so they will get to attack back. But again, this is not... Oh, they can't. They don't have the torches. You know what? They didn't go... They were standing right there. All right, let's do this. I'm going to say it's likely yes. Let's do this first. Can those 2 characters grab torches? Okay, it was a tie, so I'm going to re-roll it. No. Okay, they cannot. The mummies move too quickly. All right, 10d6. We can add... Actually, I'm going to do 5 at a time because that makes the most sense. 5 for each character. Okay, this is against the first elf that only has 1 hit die. So if any of these are a 5 or a 6, and they can add 1 to one of them, that elf is dead. Yeah, that elf is dead. Okay. Same here, but they have 2 hit die, so they got to get them twice. Ooh, they can only add 1 to one. That's a 6. They don't kill them. See, that's the advantage of having more than 1 hit die. So he gets smacked, but he does not go down. Okay, the party is going to run. He cannot run yet, and I know that sucks, but these guys need... Their plan is that protection from evil spell. So what they're going to do is they're going to book it, and they are actually fast because they have no armor on. So they're going to run. I guess they're going to run as far as they want, really. They're going to run far enough away they don't think the mummies can get them. He can't break off this first turn, the guy that's there, because he's engaged. If he wins initiative next turn, he'll be able to break off and run before he's attacked, though. So this initiative is going to be important. No matter what, these guys are going to be casting protection from evil. He won initiative. Perfect. He runs as well. The question is, do the mummies follow? I think this is their resting place. I don't think they're going to follow. So I'm going to say it's likely they do not follow. No, they follow. All right. So the question is, how fast are mummies? Again, I remember them being... I think I looked this up earlier. I think they're slower than the magic users. Magic users are 12. 6. Oh, yeah. All right. This is what happens. The magic users run back. While the second guy's running during that second round of combat, they cast protection from evil. They basically tag team, and these guys run back to here, because again, the mummies can only move 6. And basically, they get their torches now and protection from evil spells, and they're going to stand right here in the corridor. The mummies are going to move forward. He's going to cast his protection from evil this next round, and then he's going to run up and help. So protection from evil 100% wards you from being touched by something like undead, which means they actually can't hurt them. The thing is, though, it only lasts it lasts like hours and hours. So I think this is basically a done deal. I feel like these guys have the mummies right where they need them. So let me just check. I mean, it's terrible, terrible to have all those characters die, but I think... Let me see how long it lasts. 6 turns, an hour. All right. They can do all that because the mummies aren't fast enough. They have torches. Basically, they have 60 minutes to stand here and try to light these mummies on fire. Even if the mummies run back, they can still follow them because, again, they have fire and there's nowhere for the mummies to go. I'm going to say that this is a narration option. Basically, the 3 magic users, terrified but mad that their friends have been cut down by these vile beasts, use fire and eventually burn to death the 6 mummies, to re-death the 6 mummies. So they have actually taken out 8 mummies total. Now, at this point, they go into where the treasure hoard is. Oh, actually, this does matter. See, I say no, because combat takes 1 full turn. That was the turn where there'd be a wandering monster, which I already rolled. So now they move into the room, and they're going to search. That's turn 5, and they see a massive hoard of treasure. I mean, I'll just tell you what's here. It's actually, it's not that much. It's valuable. It's not that much, though. It is, this is all jewelry. 2 pieces worth 800, 2 pieces worth 1,000. A piece, oh no, they already got that 1,200 piece. A piece worth 2,000, a piece worth 6,000. Of course, remember they picked up a 5,000 and a 1,200, and also a magical shield +1. They basically see this hoard of treasure, which is fantastic because this actually doesn't even weigh that much. I think a piece of jewelry is only like 5 or 10 encumbrance. So they're able to scoop this stuff up, and while they're doing it, though, again, now I got to track this protection from evil spell. They have to rest on this next turn. They cast it on turn 4. That's 3 turns into the protection from evil spell. Is there a wandering monster that comes in? There's not. All right. They get the treasure. It's really crappy for them to do this, but I think they're going to actually run out of the dungeon. They're going to go back to where their camp is. They're going to stay overnight, and then they're going to come back in for the bodies. I think that makes the most sense. But the reason why I say that is because they can cast, 2 of many ways, can cast multiple protection from evils because they have multiple 1st level spells. So they'll be able to stay in the dungeon longer. They can just get in there, get the bodies, and get out. They're not going to explore. I think that makes the most sense. So what we're going to do is we just need to get them out of the dungeon. And I already broke that other part apart. So I'm going to do this, and I'll set it back up, and we'll go back out. But I think at this point, we can more or less narrate it. We know how long it took them to get there. It was about 4 turns. They've got 3 more turns of this. This is only 1 turn, right? To go from here to here. So when we look at this like this, they've got 3 more turns of protection from evil. Turn 1, they move up here, and they climb up to that level. They're going to be the last turn. They're not going to have protection from evil. But do they encounter something in that room up top? They do not. The next turn, they move forward, and then this is the only other possible encounter. No. Okay, they clear the building with all that treasure. They go to the top, and again, we're going into narration mode because it doesn't make sense to play this out procedurally because I know what we need to do here. If we encounter a wandering monster, we'll roll it. When they get up top, they look around. They need to determine whether or not, we need to determine whether or not rather there's going to be somebody attacking them or, remember this place is in the clear. So basically on a 6, there's a monster. And if they get ambushed and camped by some kind of monster up top, they will, and they can't evade it, they will just leave because they're not idiots. But if they don't, then they're going to go back in. They do not. They rest the night. They mourn their friends. They get themselves ready to just get the heck out tomorrow. They don't plan on fighting anything. They're going to strip down to the most basic stuff. Well, actually, they might run into something that's not evil. So they don't have a lot on them, I suppose. But they don't take all that extra stuff. These 2 guys can only have daggers anyways. It's really her that has a lot of gear. So, they stay exactly the way they are. And the 2 higher level magic users can each cast 4 1st level spells. Each one takes Protection from Evil once, Charm Person twice, and Sleep once. Okay? Their plan is going to be to go to the room where the berserkers are, and they're going to try to charm 4 of them total, so they have some people that can fight with them. Okay, because they know where all the weapons and all the other stuff is. So then they're going to go back in. They're not going to cast Protection from Evil yet. They're going to try to be as sneaky as possible, because remember, they spiked all those doors. They're going to move in as quickly as they can, and they're not exploring, so they can move much faster when they're, when they're going in. Although they're not going to, because they're trying to be sneaky. I said it took 3 turns for them to get to the pit, but they're going to stop first. So we're going to go So I'm starting over here. Day 2. I mean, they might still encounter something, so it's not 100%. This is the 5th of September. First turn, obviously, there's nothing. The door is spiked, so they can move right through that door. They move up through the corridor to that room where they locked up the bandits, or the berserkers, rather. There's an encounter there. Is it that when they open the door to the room, because they are going to listen first, is it that when they open the door to the room, they've actually cut themselves free and they're waiting in there? Yes. Okay. So, of course, the party, is aware that they might do that. The 2 white dice are the demi-humans. Okay. So we hear them making the plan inside. So they're just going to kick the door open and cast a spell. I mean, it's as simple as that. I don't think it's going to be a problem unless they roll really terribly. Remember that there's only 10 of them now. They open the door. I'm going to actually give the bandits, they're going to surprise the bandits on 3 and 6 because they're really ready for this. They do not surprise them. This could be problematic. All right, so they kick the door open and there's 10 of these guys in here and they're not surprised. So, all right, now we're going to have to do a combat. That room was big enough that they could be, the full length away. All right, so they're 30 feet away. If the party wins initiative, I'll get the spell off. I'll do exactly what I did last time. If not, they're going to run up and engage them in the doorway, which is not ideal. All right, the party loses initiative. They charge forward. Again, in a doorway, you're only 2 wide. So the berserkers are Lightfoot. They're attacking Lightfoot, so it's 1 die per man. 6s are kills. The 2 higher level characters are in the door. So the first turn, they're both going to attack separate people because they don't realize that they can't kill one. Okay, they hit one of them, but again, it takes 2 dice to kill them. So again, let's play this out. I know sometimes I'll probably start doing these things fast, but imagine these 2 are in the doorway. They each need 2 simultaneous hits to kill them, right? So these guys run up and only 2 of them can attack them in the doorway. So they both attack an individual one, but they realize they're just too tough. So the first round, they don't really get any kills. The party has the exact same thing, except they're rolling 2 dice each. So I'm rolling 4 dice, and any 6s are kills. 1 berserker goes down. This isn't really what we want, but if it's what has to happen. And of course, those 2 are the 2 charm person spells. The next round, same deal. The berserkers are going to attack, except this time they might try to attack a single person. I'm going to roll to see how smart they are. Do they... Oh, I'm supposed to give them an extra die. So they should have actually been rolling 4 dice. Let me actually do that one again. Okay, no, they didn't get enough. Do they realize they have to double down? Otherwise, it's going to be 2 dice per person, which means it is possible to kill them, but it's going to be very difficult. So do they realize they have to attack 1 person only? They do not. I'm going to say, I'm going to treat that as no. So white is 1 person, black is the other. Okay, no. That's 1 hit on 1 person, but nothing. The party attacks back. They have the exact same thing, except they don't get any bonuses. They get no hits. The berserkers attack back. Oh, okay, again, 1 hit, but not a hit. 1 hit, but not a hit. So, again, the party's alive. Wow. Wow, that would be a terrible character roll. Party misses. Berserkers miss. This could be a hell of a stalemate here. So basically what's going to happen is one of the magic users, they're going to run because we're a little bit faster than they are. I mean, I know that. So I'm going to roll initiative. If we can gain initiative, we're going to run back so we can get distance and cast a spell. We do not win initiative, so we have to fight 1 more round. Berserkers. Nope. Party. Nope. Okay, next round, again, initiative. Party wants to run if they can. Nope, they don't get the initiative. Berserkers. Oh. That's a kill. 1 of the characters goes down. Okay, which one? Oh, okay. Jolly goes down. Oh boy, that's bad. Okay, so at this point, now we're in trouble because they only need, but of course I get my return blows. Oh, hell yeah. Shoot, 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 shoot. Ah, I kill 4 berserkers. Too bad they don't roll. We kill 4, but Jolly goes down. So the elf, now they really want to run because there's only 2 of them. They gain initiative, they book it. They're faster, it's not going to be a problem. They get away, they get the distance, they turn around, they cast a sleep spell. There's only 5 of these guys. Actually, they're not going to do that. Yeah, she's going to cast sleep. She doesn't want to die. 3, 8. Okay. Sadly, I mean, these guys are elves. They are neutral, but they're killing these berserkers because that was not cool. Oof. One more body to drag out. All right, that's what you get for being nice. They pick their friend up and they drag him back. That's very unfortunate because this is one of the very first characters that was part of this group. These 2 guys, I mean, they're not dumb. All right, I'm going to make a roll. Are they just going to leave? That would be the smart thing to do. Because now there's only 2 of them. If they get ambushed again like this, they're really screwed. It would suck to leave their friends' bodies down there, but at the same time... All right, let's see if they leave. Do they leave? Do they leave? No. All right, they're going to go down. Okay, turn 3, they go to the bottom. Turn 4, is there a random monster? No. Okay, now they're picking up the bodies. They're coming back. Turn 5. Turn 6, is there a random monster? No. Turn 7, nothing. Turn 8, is there a random monster? Yes. Okay, this is basically on the way out. So we got to look at the first level monster list again. They have these like blankets down. They're like dragging all these dead bodies out. Man, if they get killed now, that's going to be very, very sad. They've gone so far and they have so much treasure. Especially since there's only 2 of them. All right, we're on the first level of the dungeon. It is a first level monster. And now there's only 2 people in the party, so it's going to be whatever it is not going to be, it's going to be one of them, basically. D8. Spider. All right, the giant spider. It could have up to 3 hit dice. It has 1 hit die. All right. They're coming down the corridor. They see this giant spider. Does the spider surprise them? No. Do they surprise the spider? No. Okay. Which means the elf's going to get a shot with her bow before the spider gets to them. Yeah, it's 60 feet away. The elf is going to fire their bow at it. At the distance, they are longbow +1. Spider is heavy foot. So again, longbow, heavy foot, 1 die per man, 5 or 6 hits. And remember that this elf is 2 people, so they get 2 dice, plus they get 1 for the short range. So 3 dice, and this thing's only 1 hit die. They just need 1 hit, it's dead. Which they do not get. So the spider moves forward and engages in melee. The spider is heavy foot versus light foot. 1 die per man, 5 or 6 hits. It misses. These guys are both, well, actually, she's heavy foot versus heavy foot, so she gets 1 die, 2 dice, 6 hits. Nope. He gets 1 die. Nope. Spider gets 1 die. Actually, the spider can't kill her, and she just gets in the front. Because in this game, you can protect. She's just going to protect. There's no way the spider can kill her, so in the end, this fight doesn't make a difference, but we'll roll it out anyways. Yeah, she killed it. All right, 1 giant spider. All right, and they get out. Wow, okay. I was going to tell you, it's easy to be ruthless and say we're going to leave the bodies, but they went in with 9 people. They're dragging 7 bodies out, and they've got a ton of treasure. So they're going to be able to pay back the patron and walk away with quite a bit of treasure if they can get home intact. And they have free access to the 3rd level because they will have paid off their debt. They're probably not going to hit the 3rd level anytime soon, especially since one of these guys is pretty low level. But perhaps on another day, they'll make their way to the 3rd level of this dungeon. Let's jump to outdoor survival and see if the remaining 2 Fangs can make it home. All right, we're back on the outdoor survival map. So I did a little thinking and like what they might do. Like I said, they recovered all the bodies. They don't want to leave it down there in that foul tomb. But the thing is that a cleric of 8th level, you know, I mean, I don't know how many super high level clerics that will be in this world, but the cleric of 8th level could cast Raise Dead upon somebody if they've been dead for 4 days. If they're 9th level, I think they can go, it extends beyond that, but effectively, by the time they get back, even if they had the money, because I was considering it for the one magic user that died, the Jolly, because he was 3rd level. It seems crappy to put one person over somebody else, but I think what the party's going to do is they're going to travel. So they went in there, right? That didn't take that long. They're going to leave the first day, so I'm going to give them a half a day movement. And what they're going to do is they're going to go on these plains, and they're going to, assuming they don't have an encounter, they're going to actually bury all the bodies but Jolly. And they're going to wrap Jolly up as best they can and bring them back. They won't have enough money to pay for a Raise Dead, but I'm going to make it a chance that the patron might front them the money, because they did find the entrance to level 3. But if they do that, they're going to have to go down to level 3, and I don't know that that's something we want to do. So for now, I'm going to say they're taking Jolly's body back, and we'll deal with that part. Like, I'll think about it, and I'll figure out how I might handle that, and see how much money they actually do have, because they might be close. They might be close, and they might be able to, like, go out. And the way I do, by the way, spells like that, or I've only had to do it once so far in my other campaign, is spell research for a 5th level spell is 32,000 gold pieces. So that's what I charge for a Raise Dead, 32,000 gold pieces. So every day that they spend doing some other adventure or some other thing might cost them time that they won't be able to raise Jolly. But if they don't get back within 4 days to start with, they might not be able to no matter what. So let's just get them home and let's see, because they just died, right? Jolly just died today. It is the 5th of September, because they're leaving this first day. And the plan is to get home as quickly as possible. Now, if you remember, I travel on this outdoor survival map. They're trying to get there. They are on horses, so they have 10 movement points. But again, the first day, they're only going to move half because they did some adventuring today. Okay, so let's do number 1. We're going to roll to see if they get lost. They're in the clear. They're lost if I roll a 1. They're not lost. So they have 5 movement points. The clear terrain only takes 1 each. So their goal is to go this way. They're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. End of the day. For some reason, they're facing the backwards. Let me turn them the other way. End of the day, we're going to roll a d6. If they get a 6, there's an encounter. No encounter. Perfect. 1 day goes by. Next day. Do they get lost? They are not lost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're going to end up in the woods if I do that. 5, 6, 7, 8. No. Let me go back to where I was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're just going to stop. I know, seems like a waste, but they don't want to get stopped in the. You know what? No, they're in a rush to get home. Let's say they're going to get risky. 6, 7, 8, 9. And they can't go 10, so they're going to stop there. There's an encounter in the woods on a 5 or a 6. Okay, they're having an encounter because they're trying to rush back to save their friend. So I'm going to check off this day. I'm going to look at the woods. We're going to roll a d8. 3. Necromancer. Ooh. Okay. This could be interesting. No, they wouldn't do it. I was going to say maybe they would try to get the Necromancer to do a reincarnate, but I don't think they'd do that because you could lose your character levels and stuff. It just doesn't make sense. So let's see. Traveling through the woods, they're going to have from 2 to 12 people with them. They've got 5. So that's a 6 total out of a possible 13. So it's less than half. We are going to try to evade them. We always try to evade unless we absolutely have to encounter. So again, I've encountered wizards and stuff in the woods before. I always assume they're on horses, so nobody's faster than the other people. We are, again, between 4 and 9 because we kept all those horses. We're not going to get rid of our horses. So we have a base 50% chance to evade them, and we have plus 25% because we're in the woods. So let's see, we have a 75% chance to evade them. 4 and 6 is 46, so obviously we evade them even without being in the woods. So that day goes by. So that day goes by, no problem. Okay, next day, we're in the woods. We're lost on a 1 or a 2. We're not lost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're in the clear. We're only lost on a 6. I mean, only encounter on a 6. We are no encounter. This is already day 3, so. All right, next day, are we lost? We are not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is literally day 4. Okay, so here's the question. Do they know that they basically have 4 days? So what we're going to do is we're going to say, do they know that part? Because I think that would be the part that most people would know. So I'm going to say 50-50 chance on that. If they do know this, then we're going to give a chance they might know that it can be extended. They do know that. Okay, so they know enough. I mean, it's an elf and they're magic users, so they have some information about clerics, though not much. So let's look at the spell, so I actually know. Okay, so it doubles each level after. So basically, 4 days for an 8th level, 8 days for a 9th, 12 for a 10th, etc., etc., etc. So they do know that. I mean, I know that. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go, do they know that you can go beyond 4 days? These are both going to be no, that's going to be yes. They don't know that. So it's day 4. They're too far away from home. They're going to stop in the plains and give Jolly a proper burial. They didn't think they were going to be able to make it, but you know, you had to try. So let's see if there's an encounter out here. There's an encounter on a 6. No. All right, that was day 4. So sadly, they don't have any of their companions. They basically buried them. And because there was only 2 of them, they basically stripped them out of like anything heavy, like their armor or whatever. You know, obviously like any minor things, like for instance, Jolly's spellbook they kept, or spellbooks of the other magic users, but they didn't keep like plate mail armor or anything like that. All right, so next day. They're in the plain. Do they get lost? Only on a 1, so no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is there an encounter? No. Do they get lost the next day? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is there an encounter? No. Do they get lost? No. And it's less than half a day, so I'm going to roll for an encounter. They get home. 7 days back. So they left on the 5th. They're returning home on the 12th. So on 9/12, the party returns. Party, if you want to call them that. 2 weary adventurers, beaten, but not beaten, with a sack of jewels worth untold riches and the memory of their 7 friends that were defeated. So what will they do now? Well, there's 2 of them. Almost certainly, based on the treasure they got, yeah, even though this one person, Tromi, was brand new, he'll definitely be on 2nd level. Almost certainly, our magic user, the Oathbreaker, will be on 4th level. Maybe, I'll check that. But, you know, 2nd, 1, 2 characters at those levels, it's not enough to go to the 3rd level of this dungeon. I don't think. So that map to them, even though they no longer will owe their patron, they're not going to want to go back to that location. I'll keep that in my pocket that they can go back there. But really, what they're probably going to do is go to the patron, take a month off, have a new group of characters, join them, and seek out a brand new map. That map costs a lot of lives. But in the end, thousands upon thousands of gold pieces were pulled from that dungeon, and there's still more below. Just to give you a little teaser, on the 3rd level of the dungeon, also primarily jewelry. 4 times 2,000, 2 times 3,000, 2 times 4,000, 3 times 5,000, and more. But there are beasts down there that there's no way this party could face. And I think they're smart enough to know they did what they needed to here. They're going to seek out maybe a little bit of a safer dungeon, if you will. Fangs, have a good rest. If you've been enjoying these actual play videos, please do take a moment to like the video. Also, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, all that good stuff, so you get notifications. I've been trying to put one out every week, and you'll be notified when they come out. Also, check the description below. Down there, you're going to find links to my Discord server, Jump over there, join the conversation, and also you'll find links to a lot of the things I use in this solo play. I get a lot of messages from people asking me about products and such that I'm using. I list as many as I can down there. If you don't see something down there, though, go ahead and ask. Also, you're going to find a link to my Patreon down there. If you want to sign up over there, you'll support the channels, and I do appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.